I'm glad I put some fresh phthalo blue on my palette today, because this water is bright. And there's some really lovely ice at the bottom, but I don't know if it's going to shift by the end of this. It might. In which case we'll have to think on our feet, but I think we're used to that at this point, right? And the geese are screaming at me. Looking at this over the camera, of course my eye wants to think it's more blue than it really is. It's not as blue as it seems. Might have a hair problem today. Alright, this should help with the hair. I'm guessing that this bit of ice and the shadow with it is probably going to change by the end of this, so I don't even want to attempt that yet. But we're going to see what we can do about this land. It's really washed out. But that's actually part of the beauty in plein air painting, is like finding the beauty in the washed out seasonal things. I guess with any kind of bramble or shoreline or whatever it is, more often than not you think it's brown and it's actually kind of like a washed out gray. So let's get some kind of washed out gray up here. Flies buzzing around me. They probably like my red flannel. And we can see what's happening too is that I think there's some kind of sun shift and that's making this look a little more saturated. So we'll have to wash it out eventually. Now, I might have put in a block of color, but of course it needs some texture, so we'll go in, we'll texture this. We're also going to need that little white, kind of like a shoreline rim thing. So we'll see if we can get that as well. I don't know if you remember, but I said I thought this ice might change, and it has. If you can see it, there's a line of ice that's coming in fresh right through there. So, oh, I didn't realize the geese are sitting on the ice over there. So what's happening is we're right off the Niagara River, and it's full of ice today. Really kind of fast moving ice, which is why I couldn't paint a different part of the river that had more of that moving ice. Even though it's pretty, it would be everywhere and all over the place by the time the illusion was done. It wouldn't really match up. It might be fun to try one day, but I'm not going to do it right now. But the ice is coming in off of the river into here, and some of it's kind of swirling around and getting stuck in some spots, but other parts are just like freely moving throughout this illusion, so I don't really know what's going to happen. So let's switch back to this water for a minute. It got a little bit darker, or I left it too saturated. Either way, we have to tone it down quite a bit. We're going to come back to the shoreline, but I don't have time for that right now. Alright. I'm guessing we'll leave a lot of the ice till the end, but we're going to have to figure out something. We'll try and touch in just like a little kind of gray texture down here. And we'll just see how that's looking. And then we'll do like some ice highlights over that, something like that. Now, funny thing about, oh, I just made a mistake. That's okay. Funny thing about this ice is it almost looks a little yellow. Am I imagining that? No, it looks a little gray, yellowy gray in the shadows. It's subtle. But I'm just going to make sure that we don't use like a pure white on this. I want it kind of like an off-white, maybe even like a yellowy white. And the shapes are really important, so I have to check on the camera's end shortly here. Make sure that I'm on the right track. Here's the thing. Last time I painted ice, I didn't paint it sharp enough. So today, I'm bringing out a really fine brush here, if you can see that. And we'll get it just a little sharper, maybe even a little bit dimensional. That's along the lines of what I'm thinking, but might be my camera angle. It's looking a little blurry though. Might just be the camera focusing weird. I'm gonna try and get some of that like abstract texture in here. Something's changing really fast and I don't know exactly what, but if I work quickly I might be able to finish this up just in the nick of time. Something's going on with the sunlight, something's happening with the water, and the birds are getting really excited as well. Yikes. But I know that this water needs to be just a touch darker. And then I already know I was supposed to get some kind of shoreline in up here. We'll just kind of barely sketch something like that. And I'm like tempting fate by going any further on this illusion, but there's just a couple last things. There's just like the last couple little kind of want to throw one in the water, but so alright, I can't, I'm gonna regret it later if I don't add just like, please let me do this right, just like one little ice chunk in the water here.